It has been a minute, but I don't really have a whole lot to show. What I do think that I wanted to touch on was the new style, I guess you could say, of the Accel OG that I guess they're going to be doing moving forward in the future. This one is the Dome, part of their collection that they're doing with the Accel OG, Accel Slim, and Accel Slim Mid. The Accel OG is the Dome. The other one is Carlsbad, and I forgot what the third one was, but they have corresponding t-shirts to go with it too. So the reason why I wanted to kind of hit on this is because when I bought these in the same size that I normally get the, I guess the older style of the Accel OG, the fit's not the same. So I figured if anybody's going to be buying a shoe like this moving forward, it would be kind of just wise to put it out there. They're not the same anymore. And I guess if you've kind of heard Kelly Hart talk about this on the 9 Club, he did say that he's working with somebody at S to try to get the Accel OG back to the mid-90s type of form, like the first iteration of the Accel OG. So when I put the shoe on, or at least when I looked at it, it is quite noticeable that the shoe is shaped somewhat differently. And that's mostly in the entire padding of the shoe right here. The tongue is noticeably thinner. The collar is thinner, and I think one part that does kind of make it feel like not an entirely different shoe, but it's noticeably different. If you don't have the ability to sit in a skate shop or something and try these on and compare sizes, there's less beef and padding in this Achilles area, so it doesn't exactly, it still cups around your heel, but not quite as much, to the point where I guess with the older Accel is that it moves your foot forward a little bit, so it kind of increases it. The shoe a half a size in the older style. I'm not sure if you could tell a clear-cut difference, but once you, this if you prop the tongue up, that's noticeable. The newer style kind of curves around the top of your foot a little bit, whereas this is just a bit, it's so noticeable when you've got it in front of you like this. Big old fat pillow, not quite. So you have that. They both have tongue centering straps, obviously, but the way that this holds your foot down is noticeable. I'm not saying that there's a lot more room with this shoe, but there's less to encompass around your foot. They also, another thing that kind of threw the sizing off is it looks like, I don't know what they put in the toe cap, but it does, it's more rigid. I don't know if it's a curved piece of plastic that kind of helps hold the silhouette better. Not that I've had any collapsing issues with this, but it's noticeable. Like, you really have to press. So it does kind of hold the toe box open a little bit. And like, again, not like that this would like collapse around your foot, but the body of it is completely noticeable. That's part 2 as to why this shoe feels so much different compared to this. Both of these are size 9s. I'm gonna go ahead and say that if I were to skate a pair of these, I'd have to go down to an 8.5 to get them to feel like this. Get the piece of paper in there. You can see right in the Achilles area how this kind of pinches more completely, and this is swooped back. So right there is just proof that your foot is going to fit back a little bit more. Overall, you could see a little less padding in this one. More in this one. Less rigid of a toe cap. Way more rigid of a toe cap. As far as construction between the two shoes, completely like the same style. And I guess I've heard some people say that, like when I first put the size comparison up on Instagram between the two, I got a bunch of messages and it was pretty much like a 50-50 split. Some people hate the fact that they took beef out of the shoe, kind of without warning though. So if you were to just go ahead on the S website and order the same size as you would from these, you're gonna feel a difference. If you don't mind skating something that feels a half size big, I guess it doesn't matter to you. To me, when I put these on, it didn't feel the same to me. I feel like there was more room in the toe box and I had a little less control. Whereas I could put this pair on brand new straight out the box and it's gonna feel like I'm skating in SXL. This feels a little different. Same sole, almost the same. It's the same look, but it isn't at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, so the size comparison's it's a little off. I would go, if you're gonna skate these, or the Year of the Dragon XL that also came out, I would go half size down. I tried reaching out to S customer service. I tried reaching out to Don Brown, and I tried reaching out to Kelly Hart, asking them if the classic 3 colorways that they put out for the XL OG every season, the black gum, white gum, and brown gum, are going to be built like this moving forward, and I got no answer. So do with that information whatever you will, I guess. If you have the luxury, or if you have any skate shops around you that carry these shoes and you can kind of try them all on, I guess it's no difference to you really. But if you're like me and no skate shops around you carry S shoes or anything that's going to be kind of a newer, kind of a limited type of release, where like this may not be something most people would skate, I kind of thought the colorway was cool. It's a little bit different than the classic colorways that they come out with the XL. And I mean, it's a tough second with like the Krager, but this is still my favorite shoe. I mean, everybody has a session or a couple of sessions, or just those days where you don't feel the same, you don't feel right on your board, or you may not necessarily feel like skating that day, but you're gonna go do it anyways. To me, this shoe is like, it's like a safety net. I can always pop one of these on and be able to do something, or like that little unsureness kind of goes away because it's such a familiar shoe. You get a new board setup or a new like shape or something like that, where concave's a little bit deeper or whatever, and it kind of throws you off a little bit. It might take a couple of sessions, but you still want to accomplish something on your board, you can still go back to these. They kind of threw a question mark, I guess, when it comes to this newer build. Again, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't have to be skating the puffiest shoes around. I mean, I do skate the Chomp on Kicks Tribo Vario shoe, which, you know, it's got a fatter tongue. It's not the biggest, fattest shoe out there. The Muska is not a fat shoe. The S298 still, like, again, like a kind of a puffier tongue, but the collar and all that stuff is kind of it's kind of a thinner shoe, and I don't mind it. Like, in fact, I was very surprised by the 298, the way it came out. With this, it's not necessarily this particular shoe, but the colorways that they're going to be using going forward. They somehow get the factory to still make this? Or are all of them going to be like this? I didn't get a clear-cut answer, so I don't know what to do. I mean, I have enough shoes to skate for a long time, so I guess it's not really a big issue, but still, you buy something, you kind of want it to function and fit the way you want it to when you're skating. You need your equipment to work. Yeah, I guess I kind of wanted to just get that out there, let people be aware that it's different, and it's obvious. Just so you know, this would probably be more of a half size down. So that's that.